Hey guys, I am back and it's almost the middle of the month and I'm still doing these garden tours, but that is life and it's been busy. So I wanted to pick back up where I left off, and that is the rest of my backyard, and I'll go ahead and show you the porch and what I'm planning on doing there. So let me turn the camera around and show you what's happening. So picking back up, this was my native corner here, and this was used to be just this tiny little thing here was my pollinator garden, which now I have made it the entire length of this fence. So everything is still pretty brown. I mean, the grass is starting to green up where I'm watering every day, but you'll see I need to cut back that lemongrass because it's starting to brown out because it went to seed. Real quick, just on the porch, this is all getting a makeover. I have the cover crops almost done for the season. I'm going to be composting it and turning it into another foodscape bed and just let whatever native wildflowers pop up in there come back. I have my green stock gardens. They're doing great. I've been having a little bit of trouble getting some new strawberry, bare root strawberry plants started for some reason. I don't know if it's just because it's so warm now. They do really take better, I think, when it's cooler. But the ones that are established are still doing great. This one, I'm going to be replanting some, but the peppers are starting again. The parsley needs to be replanted out of there into the ground. The lettuce is going to seed. The dill has bolted and is flowered, is going to seed. So this one will need a season change. This I'm keeping, and we'll go from there. I have my fig trees, my key lime tree up there, and that's basically it for the porch. And so here you'll notice my peach tree has this monstrosity around it because of the squirrels. So it has quite a few peaches on it. I don't know if, oh, there they are. With this cage on it. Let me try to zoom in past the cage. There's quite a few peaches on it, and I do not want them to get eaten. I have taken a few of the peaches off by hand that looked, tiny and kind of shriveled, and I knew they wouldn't produce an edible fruit later on. So I went ahead and took those off, send all the energy to the other fruits. But so for some reason, the dang squirrels are just trying me, to say the least. So I put this on it. They dug under it. Well, didn't dig. I left a small hole and they got into it. But now we've put a reinforcement around the side, and I'm also trying to trap them and get rid of them. There's other ways of getting rid of them, but I don't know if that's suitable to talk about on here. Anyways, moving on. So this is a brand new border. So it's very bare right now. I do have things coming up here that are going to be like the cottage garden type look. It's just all very green still. Nothing's bolting or going to flower. Actually, this is bolting. I don't remember if this is, I don't think it's Dara. I think it might be green dill, white dill. I planted so many things in here that I don't remember. But we'll see when that happens, and then I'll keep a better log of it. So here is the pink salvia. This is one of my newest additions, native additions. So I have the red one popping up all over my yard, but I thought this one would be pretty. So I only bought 2 plants, one there and one down there, and I assure you this time next year they will be over my entire yard, because that's what happens to the red ones. They spread everywhere, which is fine because they're pretty, but just beware. And so in this bed, what else do I have? Oh look, I have some, these are velvet beans coming back. I don't really want them planted right here, so I'll take that one out. So I have to look back, but that might be spaghetti squash, some type of squash. I put a few different squashes along this fence because as a foodscape, I'm trying to make the most of my garden beds being pretty and productive. So there's different squashes down there and down here. I'd have to look back at my notes. But I have native liatris. I have basil. Let's see, there's the liatris, basil. This is, I don't remember. Like I said, I'll look back at my notes, but there's many squashes that I planted. And then I did plant some sunflowers. Those are starting to come up along the back of the fence. That is Thai basil. There's Thai basil and holy basil. And then one other type of, I think it's just a different variety. I love basil for the pollinators, after it flowers, for tea, for just fresh eating, everything. So I plant a lot of it. And then, let's see, so more basil, liatris, basil. That's another, I think that's a dipper gourd. So I do crafts with gourds too, not just eating gourds. So I do plant some that are not edible. I guess you could eat a dipper gourd when it's young. Here's a volunteer blanket flower outside my fence, looking pretty. Let's see, and then more liatris. It's kind of like the whole length of it, planted the same plants all the way down. There are some zinnias that I planted in here. I haven't seen any of those pop up yet. They were from my own seed. So let me see. I don't see any, but it's supposed to be getting chilly next week, but I don't think it's too chilly to plant seedlings. Let's see. I don't know. I don't see any zinnias popping up. It's okay, I'll watch out for them. But this border will be filled in the gaps mainly with borage, anise, hyssop, feverfew, and chamomile. So this is going to be like a herb pollinator border, I guess you'd say, with sunflowers. It'll be really pretty, I'm hoping. Let's see. Oh, here is the fire pit bed. It's the only thing in it is railroad vine, and it's all starting to get green and lush again. And here is the same of what's on the other side of the fence. The beauty berries are flushed out almost completely. This one's a little bit behind, but still pretty. And I've had a lot of butterflies coming on the passion flower vines behind them. There's 3 of them, and those have never died back over the winter, so that's pretty nice. Let's see if there's any caterpillars. I don't see any caterpillars. Oh, look, there's a flower though. See it? This is the corky stem passion flower. Super tiny flowers. This is a camellia, a white one. I forgot the name of it. Let's see. Morning Glow. Like I said, this one's not native, but I like camellias because of my grandma. She has a really old white camellia, and it just made me think of her. So I put that here because this is starting to turn into like the shrub, small tree border. Then you're gonna come in like this direction, and all of this will be open, and you'll be kind of hidden, like a little secret garden is what my plan is eventually. It'll take a few years to get there, but it'll be pretty fun. I planted 3 elderberry trees there. 1, 2, and 3 over there. This is another new addition. This is a native oak leaf hydrangea. There's 2 of them. They do really well in shady areas, so that's going to fill in here. Let's see what else is new in here. And then in the corner there, I thought to bring some life to this corner, I would plant, this is a witch hazel. So it's actually an American witch hazel. native to all of North America, I think. But it blooms in the winter, really pretty yellow blooms. So I missed it for this year, planted it later to see the blooms, but it'll be a really nice addition to this corner, I think. I snapped off the top of it when I was driving here, so we'll just live with that. But that is new. And these elderberries are just cuttings from my elderberry tree. And look, there's already a shoot off of this tiny plant. Those grow really well here. That will be a lemongrass when it comes back. There's some native golden starry rosinweed coming back up. Just some, see, these just pop up everywhere, the salvia. So I'm going to leave that. This is the first year I've had to cut back my rattlesnake master. And so, I mean, it was just getting a little too yellow. My neighbors had to water their grass because they just put in sod, and which is fine, but some of the water kept coming over here, and I think it just got a little too wet because that plant never gets watered. I don't water this side at all unless it's new plants, and that's the goal, is not to have to water. So just have some of those rattlesnake masters growing there. There's some coreopsis, some salvia. This is, like I said, this is gonna kind of be just like that other corner. I'm gonna add some more muley grass just to create the native look over here that I don't have to do much with. But all the same, I still want it to be productive in a foodscape. So that's why I did things like the elderberry, the witch hazel. Let's see, this is actually mustard greens that'll go to flower. There's, let's see, the rattlesnake master is technically medicinal. There's calendula that died back a little, but I let it go to seed. There's yarrow that can be used medicinally. And then these are my artichokes. Got those looking really well and healthy. They were scaring me a little bit. I also thought they were getting a little too much water, but my neighbor kindly just stopped watering as far over, so all turned out well. And then more calendula. Yeah, so this is kind of like the just native plants, drought tolerant, easy, Florida friendly plants, medicinal plants, edible plants. Kind of my jam. There's Mary. This is my firebush. It died down to the ground and is coming back. That is about a month's growth, so it's gonna grow pretty big. Probably good that it died back. It needed a refresh. So that is a pile of, I thought it was more mulch, but it turned into more composted mulch, so I'm just gonna use it as a top dress for my beds. So that's that corner. Let's see. It just looks, I love the way it looks out here at this time of year. Everything's starting to look so green and pretty. Let's see, we'll pan over here. This is my longevity spinach. That's all popping back up like it should. Edible border there. I have a papaya tree, my daughter's little fairy house. So the papayas are small, but they are hopefully going to produce. The trunks are starting to get a little thicker. I think I'll end up leaving that one. We'll see. Maybe I'll leave both. We'll see how they grow. Let's see. This is the compost bin. Let me zoom out a little. And it's midday, so everything's a little wilty, but I'm growing pumpkins out of the compost once again. They're actually taking over the compost bin, but it's fine, whatever. Look at this. So if you struggle growing pumpkins, just throw them in a compost bin because you'll never have trouble growing them again. And the nice thing about growing them out here, because I do use this as production for my pumpkins, because look, there's a little baby pumpkin right here. That one probably won't make it. They usually don't last until they've put on a few fruits, and then they drop them, and then they'll put on more mature ones later. But see, there's powdery mildew, but I don't care about it back here because it ultimately doesn't matter. So I don't stress out and like try to like overlove the plant. It just does what it does. And last year I had this whole thing with shade cloth because I really didn't want to lose the pumpkins, and then I kept the pumpkins. They lasted all year. I just, like in the last 2 months, put the pumpkins in the compost. They lasted almost a whole year. They were actually like a gourd type, not a pumpkin, but still fun. Here's my leaves. Since the last time, I think this was empty, but I've gotten a whole fresh set of leaves in here. That'll last me throughout the rest of the season because I've done everything else with leaves that I can think of for right now. And then my daughter's little area with the Simpson stopper, the salvia that is going crazy, and the pollinators love it. A little camellia, and then a bird bath for her that I need to fill up, and then her little window. That's just her little corner so she can look out her window and see something pretty and not all my crap. Oh, and there's Benelli. Hi. Hi. Anyways, so that concludes the backyard. This is a little faster video. Like I said, I just wanted to mainly get video reference because I'm trying to do that every month, and I didn't want to miss it, even though it was a little faster and delayed for the month. But next I will be showing the front yard and everything going on then. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.